Um, it's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. So I'm tracing the star charts, star maps for myself and Alexander. I know Alexander was born on a Wednesday. I was born on a Thursday. Um, and then I went one step further for who the big, like my big brother in cosmic terms. The only one that they've presented on the big board, like the illuminated screen, that like the whole war theater of America knows, which is Thomas Brady. He was delivered same day, 1977. So he's 1 year, but we shared Jimmy Carter and the UK Prime Minister, which is um, James, and it looks like Call Again. And I'm not sure if he's the one who called me Hella. Call again instead of like come again, like call again. It's kind of how it's written. And if you spell it phonetically, it's call, Call. And then it's Aghan. Um, so, oh, and our shared Pope between Brady and I is Pope Paul the Sixth. Again, I don't ever hear by sound on the television. I I did not hear things. I didn't even hear Brady's name, honestly. I've he should know that one of his fans invited me to a Super Bowl party, which I went to. I had my children, but I don't follow the sport. I haven't followed his career. I didn't even discover him. This one fan tried to help me, I guess, discover who he was. He said he was like he had heard other women say that he's like the best looking man in football. And I said, really? I said, wow. I said, that's quite a claim or statement. And so I said, which one is he? And I was watching the screen and he was trying to show me who he was. And I was like, well, how do you tell with the helmet on? And so I was like, again, I was like, call me when he takes the helmet off. I was like, because I was like, and does it really matter what I think? And the guy was just like, and again, now, I don't, this was a Tia Frio brought me somewhere, and these were his whatever in the local area since I don't have people that invite me to parties on my own. So, it was interesting. And then whatever, I mean, like again, the guys were in the den watching the football thing, kind of like how I guess guys are. I don't know, Dan in high school when they invited me over for one Super Bowl game. It was my first Super Bowl ever. Um, and that was like awkward because his mom wanted me to like, I don't know, do maid work. And I'm like, I don't do cleaning. I just don't. So, again, significance. Now, the other thing is that where I went to school, it was not a football school. They brought in something called soccer, which I had never heard of either. Although I knew my father's brother was supposed to play it here, but he died on the way over. And there was no like big league that I knew of in New York. In the 80s growing up, I was out in Long Island. And so it was just like our age playing this new game that they were teaching called soccer. I mean, I had never heard of anything, but then again, words of the world weren't like really reaching me where they were holding me in Long Island. But people from the world reached me in on the field. Um, there were a lot of races, like running races, which I was always super one of the fastest which I didn't really think was significant, but guess maybe in like his world of competition it might be. But I mean, like they didn't really foster this competitive thing. I mean, I just was who I was, and that was the end of the story. Um, and so um, now I don't know, like for Eric in America, I don't in like I need help. I don't know if by them making such a big deal of football in American like rabbit ears or antenna stations, if that's part of the dangerous problem I'm encountering now with management, um, being anything from whatever, all sorts of levels. Um, and this beginnings of swimming, uh, archery, and soccer. Like that was a big thing. I think they even threw field hockey in there, but I really wasn't interested. Although lacrosse was big, but that was for the boys. I was not about getting hit with sticks. Did not sound entertaining. Um, there was no like big tennis thing. Like Lou tried. I tried to do private with my father, just hitting the tennis ball, but like there was no learning this game. There was no reinforcement of it. Um, so that's the high school um, and middle school that I was in Cold Spring Harbor, um, and elementary school. So I don't know if this fight with soccer coming to America or being held out of North America and football taking a lead. I don't know if the person from cosmetic and cosmically certain, like Niklaus, again, Nicholas, whose claim to fame was you're mine and that's it. And so, and that he would find me when it was time for whatever. Great. Okay. So now I'm just curious, was he more of a soccer family? Is that part of the problem here in like things like possibilities of like the really, I don't know, pretentious, but like really has an impact on actual physical locale and like the ability of one to actually enjoy this thing amongst man? Because I see a lot of dangerous effects going on that don't seem healthy. And it seems some insidious whatever's going on. Oh, I also saw SARA from Jay's. There's a SARA on some chase game show. The timing was last night. I didn't tape it to spotlight it, but it exists. Apparently, it's a big network thing that they're doing. And they also, at the same time, Linda found a TV show that she taped for me, which I won't watch. I watched like the first, like whatever of it, and I had had enough. But it's something called Claim to Fame. It's some no name people who are related to famous people, and they're in some kind of like whatever, and there's some kind of alternate game going on. And I'm like, again, but I can see quantity and ratios also on the specific TV show. And again, it's more like, I'm just, it's not something I want to watch, and it's not something I want to have in my face all the time. It's just, I don't find it entertaining. I don't find it artistically pleasing. I'm just in like a whole world of mess. And like these are just pieces, parts, and clues of what's already happened and what is working in some outlaw outskirt way. I don't really know. So this is their new attempt at entertainment, which has some parallel or paradox to what's going on. But again, like I've heard of like celebrity stalkers and all sorts of stuff and the paparazzi, and I don't really know how any of that stuff works because again, I've lived most of this time like with interaction when they're allowed in. But again, I also come from an area that they moved me to where I had a presidential seal and a special letter. And at that pedigree, it was supposed to mean something at several different levels. They just said that, I mean, like, again, I wasn't made aware at that time. I knew it came with special responsibility. It's just there was nothing itemized. And then there was no real follow up in what should I be doing? What does it look like? I mean, again, it gets really confusing. But I know in my elementary school, there was a soccer team put together. I know the color of the shirts. I know the name that Lewis chose for the team. And I know we had an important player on our team the first year, who then I became friends with, who then invited me away, which Lewis and Linda allowed me to go.
Stars, Claim to Fame premieres right now.
And it's under some Warner Brothers Horizon, is this Claim to Fame.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to live your life in the shadow of a famous relative? The lack of attention, the jealousy? I'm really not sure what I would do. As a younger sibling, maybe you might bide your time. Wait for just the perfect moment and then, swoop in and grab all the attention back for yourself. It's just one way to go, I'm guessing. Or, ride the coattails of your brothers. Inside this legendary Hollywood residence, once home to Katy Perry, are 12 people. None of them a famous person themselves, but are all related to one. Their relatives are Oscar, Grammy, and Emmy winners, MVP Hall of Famers, supermodels, movie stars, and one who is the greatest of all time. And whoever can keep their celebrity relative's secret the longest will win $100,000. For everyone in there tonight, a huge cash prize is within reach if they can just maintain a strong poker face and a bulletproof cover story. Sloppy strategy? Eliminated. Bad guesser, you're out. Whoever is the last one standing can truly stake their claim to fame. Hey everyone, I'm Kevin Jonas. And I'm Frankie Jonas. I can't. Do it again. As a younger sibling. Hi, I'm Kevin Jonas. Time to kick the proceedings off. Time to play. Yes. Stop trying to take my line. Whoa.
Now, I'm not even watching the full episode, but just to get a skew of the ratio of people invited to this television type whatever, in whoever these people are, because you look at them, you have no idea. I mean, one of them looks like someone else. I mean, like they look like twin sisters, but the rest of them, and if there wasn't a scandal for the one that looks like the twin sister, I would have never even noticed. Never.
Oh my God! Welcome to Claim to Fame. What it do?
You all have a claim to fame, but to win in this game, you're gonna have to be really good at hiding it. Look around. These are your fellow players.
Everyone in this room is hiding the same secret. You all have a celebrity, relative, and even we don't know who you're related to. To win, it's up to each and every single one of you to uncover the identities of the other guests, but protect your own, if you want to win. This is a game of strategy, deceit, and keen observations.
I already know who you look like.
Before you came here, you were told you'd have to reveal 3 facts about yourself and your celebrity relative.
But you were also told that you would be able to lie about one of those facts.
Intense. It is intense.
So let's find out if that choice was strategically smart or the worst for.
So anyway, whatever the show's about, I'm not watching it. But the point is that they know they're celebrities. Like, they were born into knowing that they were and had celebrities. There's some of us who are so distal from our big brother relationship, and not in like the TV show way, because they've bastardized that, but in a they've sensationalized it, they've bastardized it. I mean, like, I was looking, I'm like, okay, so respectfully, I met an Eric, which Brendan called a pillar of construction. He said he had brothers, and I was like, oh, he runs it with his brothers? I was like, oh, all right. And then, but like, I'm thinking construction, like swinging a hammer kind of a thing. And more, not in like the God Thor swinging a hammer. I'm thinking of like Tier Frio level. And then, I'm like, or runs a construction company, has guys swinging hammers again. Like, I wasn't real clear. And then I called him a Millenar. I mean, they said Pilar, but Millar, just, I mean, I recognized his presence as such. I mean, again, and I was super silent next to him. I really said hello, and then I kept silent. Um, I mean, I don't know. There's been like no instructions. How do you communicate with somebody you want to communicate with, but you don't know how to communicate, and you don't really know like what you should be saying? I mean, like, it's visually obvious where I was. It's visually obvious now, as the cosmos were set in astrology and the houses. I mean, Leo Pantera type of a house is for which I arrived. I'm just not sure where the planetary alignment is anymore. I mean, I can find this on from the UK. Oh, and for Alexander, it was Benedict the 16th on Pope. That was super important. I had to look that up though on Google. Again, it's like without like, just recently they gave out a social studies manual with the leaders of the parties. So therefore, like, in construction and building, like, it makes sense, because again, now I have a tangible piece of information I can hold, and then I can reference, and that's irrefutable. So again, it's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's Earth, it's solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.